What's up guys, welcome back to my channel Anime Crossover. I'm back with a new episode of Naruto. Join the Avengers Part 9, and if it is interesting video, give this video a like, and if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more crossover fictions. Now let's begin this new video.
Chapter 32 Hyperion. When Jameson offered $10,000 for Spider-Man's unmasking, Shinobi and the others stood in front of him, telling him he was going to be Boston's hero. When he arrived, the mayors had prepared a sidekick for him, a young prodigy who invented spider-themed equipment for Spider-Man to use. Spider-Man went on to explain that he sent the youngster home because he was concerned about his safety. He then employs the equipment and trucks to apprehend numerous offenders, but then he meets the Boston Terriers, a trio of armored supervillains comprised of Plymouth Rocker, Salem's Witch, and Slam Adams. He later discovered that the team was formed by someone claiming to be the Steel Spider. The Steel Spider is revealed to be Ollie, who formed his gang following Spider-Man's rejection. After Spider-Man apologizes and Ollie learns he has always wanted to be a hero, they work together to take down the Boston terrorists, who learned about the bounty and exploited each member's built-in vulnerability as security. After defeating the team, Spider-Man names Ollie as the new protector of Boston before returning to finish his narrative by grabbing a hoverboard and jumping from the skyscraper. Ha! That movie was correct. We did get hoverboards, Naruto said as the others chased him, most likely to ride on the board as well. Now, night in New York City. Naruto, who was dressed in blue trousers and a black shirt, grabbed Ava's hand, who was dressed in low-riding jeans, strapped heels, and a spaghetti-stringed white blouse. She also wore a white purse that concealed her hero attire before they entered a movie. They purchased their tickets, popcorn, and drinks before entering the theater, and after finishing their popcorn, they began making out. Naruto grinned as she threw her arms around his neck and kissed him. Later, the two walked out before observing a robber fleeing a bank on a motorcycle and changing clothes in an alley. They dashed away, and Naruto turned to face his girlfriend. "Nice flower patterns, thought you'd have a tiger," she said before punching his shoulder. "Kidding, I didn't peek." Times Square a few days later. Shinobi is evacuating the blocks as a big asteroid approaches Earth and meteorites strike the structures. "Run," he cried as Hulk, Thor, and Iron Man smashed meteorites as they entered the atmosphere, while Cap shot them with the Quinjet. He then looked up to see a meteorite going straight for him, just as Black Widow jumped out of it and landed near him. "I think that merits a thank you," she remarked, placing her palm on her right hip. "Everyone thinks they're a hero now," Naruto stated as they exchanged glances before the light faded. Looking up, they saw a massive meteor falling as Iron Man complained over their comms about not being able to stop the largest one and looked to see that nothing Iron Man, Thor, or Hulk could do stopped or broke the largest one. "It's been nice working with you all." Boom! Suddenly, the asteroid exploded, sending a square with a molecular symbol flying down. "We've got company," Widow remarked as the others approached and pointed forward. "Look." Looking ahead, they noticed a tall Caucasian muscular man posturing with his hands on his hips. He has dark eyes and short brown hair. He's dressed in a red short-sleeved suit with the same emblem on the chest, a yellow cloak over his right shoulder, vambraces, a huge championship belt, and boots. He winked at them before taking off with a little sonic boom. Hawkeye questioned, "Did he just wink at me?" Naruto snorted, holding back a laugh. "I don't think so, maybe at Nat because she's standing beside you," Naruto replied, feeling a sense of jealousy. "If that's the case, Naruto, you'd better hurry and get your next companion there," Kurama joked. "Stop talking." A few weeks later, the Avengers Tower. The Avengers, sans Black Widow, sat in the meeting room as Iron Man went through the man who stopped the meteor, who is being dubbed Hyperion by the media and is effectively halting crime and weather disasters. Thor is impressed by him, and Falcon mentions that he has heat vision, super invulnerability, and the ability to fly. "Pretty boy in a cape," the Hulk snorted. "1. I wonder how his aim is." Hawkeye wondered as he gazed at a photograph of Hyperion, who was shooting beams from his eyes. "He took out a meteor the size of the Grand Canyon," Cap stated before Hawkeye reclined back in his chair. "Maybe we should extend an invite." "No, we don't know his agenda," Naruto answered, taking off his mask as one of the meteor's cubes was put on the table. They turned to see Black Widow standing by the door. "What makes you think he wants to be an Avenger? Has anyone thought what motivates this, Hyperion?" "Some people hear the call to help where they can," Cap explained as he picked up the cube. "True, but consider this. What happens when someone tells him no? Naruto said as he watched Hyperion halt a volcano with a massive boulder. Wrecker was attacking an armored car on the other side of town before Iron Man, Captain America, and Shinobi got his attention before Hyperion attacked with a sewer cover and threw Wrecker into the truck before picking up the truck, having the guards scramble out, and slamming it down around the criminal, scaring him into giving up. The Avengers were wide-eyed as Hyperion didn't see the guards go and didn't care that they were even in there before Hyperion smirked and flew away. Later in the tower, Hawkeye heard Jameson praise Hyperion before Cap changed the channel to a documentary as Shinobi walked to the restroom, and paused for a split second while he saw Widow practice yoga in her room. Your friend is incredibly flexible, Naruto. I had never idea the human body could bend like that. I swear you're worse than Jiraiya, Naruto thought as Widow rose up straight, bringing her legs shoulder length, then bending at the waist until her head was between her legs. Before departing, he was dazed for a moment by her toned ass and flexibility. Widow opened her eyes just in time to watch Naruto go away, and she grinned before standing up and stretching. As Falcon flew in, Naruto went out of the restroom and explained how he followed Hyperion by identifying the energy in the cubes that stopped the asteroid. A darkness descended on the city, causing the building to tremble. The Avengers then went out onto the helipad, where they noticed a gigantic ship over their building. The group then flies up to the ship and enters, where they go out into a wide hallway where Hyperion was constructing a giant statue of himself. Iron Man scoffed before Hyperion noticed them and soared down. I cannot express how happy I am to finally meet you all. I have been admiring you all from afar. Your abilities are impressive and diverse, he added, lifting a hand as what appeared to be mist came out of a door behind him, forming gigantic screens. Stealth, technology, powers, unbridled strength. There's a reason they call you Earth's mightiest heroes, he said, as footage of them in action aired. You've been studying us? Naruto inquired, peering up at the monitors. You've been studying me too, right? Makes sense. I wanted to know who I was dealing with before I made contact. Needless to say, I'm very impressed. Can't say the same. Not yet, Cap answered, staring up at the man. Your methods are harsh, and your powers make people nervous, he said as the screen faded away. And by people, you mean the Avengers? We're just curious who you are, Iron Man remarked as Hyperion sighed and glided to the door. He then displays a hologram of himself and his squad, 4 others and 1 woman. The one on Hyperion's far right is dressed in a rainbow bodysuit, gloves, and boots. His right arm is red, his left arm is yellow, and the rest of his body is green. Dr. Spectrum here. The guy on the right after that is a Caucasian male dressed in a black bodysuit with a cowl and a yellow bird insignia on the chest, yellow gloves, boots, and feather embellishments for the eyes. He also wears a crimson bird cape. Nighthawk here. The lady on Hyperion's left is a tall Caucasian woman with a powerful body and lower back length straight brown hair in a braid. She's dressed in form-fitting purple battle gear that accentuates her figure. She's also wearing a gladiator-style helmet with a curved blade at the top that covers her face save for her eyes and mouth. This is Princess Power. The final character is dressed in a blue and red outfit with a cowl that is blue on the head, shoulders, and chest, red on the stomach and ribs, and blue from the waist down. Speed Demon here. Hyperion said that his home planet had corruption and violence, which devastated the world and eventually caused the planet to blow up, killing everyone but him, who had managed to escape. He then says that all that is left of his homeworld is in the Citadel and that he will use it to save the Avengers planet, which the Avengers found peculiar. Before anything else can be spoken, Hyperion, using his super hearing, hears the Wrecker stirring trouble again and leaves the Avengers to deal with him in Citadel. The Wrecker, afraid of seeing Hyperion again, begs Hyperion for compassion on the New York bridge, but Hyperion ignores his pleas and fires his heat vision at the criminal, intent on murdering him, until Iron Man steps in the way of the blast and is shot off the bridge. No, boom. Hulk leaps over to save him, then leaps them both back up to floor level. Well done, Hulk, replied Hyperion, crossing his arms. Next time, Iron Man, stay out of the way of my beams, he said before being blasted with Cap's shield and having the others stand in front of the Wrecker. Stand down, Hyperion, Naruto replied, taking a position. Why protect him? He adds nothing to the Earth, he's a parasite. That may be true, but we are not judge, jury, or executioner. We must follow the law or be as bad as those who break it, Naruto replied before Hyperion floated up and accused them of being the same people who destroyed his planet before shooting his beam. When Hyperion collided with the beams and cables, Iron Man attacked him while Hulk and Thor helped hold the bridge. While Falcon carried Wrecker away, The others attacked while Naruto produced clones to get the citizens off the bridge. Before Thor soared over and was pushed into the atmosphere by Hyperion, Hulk tackled Hyperion into the water, causing water to splash into the air in multiple places. Crack. As Naruto was getting the rest of the citizens off the bridge, Hyperion hit Thor into space, snatching his cape and putting it on. Naruto ran to Times Square, where he watched Cap save a youngster from Hyperion before entering his red chakra cloak and dash forward, smacking Hyperion in the jaw after claiming he displayed his world after they performed the same thing that the Avengers are now doing. Naruto dashed around, randomly striking Hyperion. Hyperion grabbed the ninja and hurled him across the city, only for Naruto to grasp a flagpole and flip around it many times before returning to kick Hyperion. Naruto was punched by Hyperion before he threw a car at Black Widow. She found herself at the same location as Naruto before flipping to land as the automobile crashed into a building. The following morning, Naruto awoke to find himself in the med bay, with Tony and Widow there. What happened? Tony revealed that they were able to catch Hyperion and discovered that when he tried to kill the criminals, they turned on him, and that the meteor shower was most likely from Hyperion's planet. Tony then left, followed by Widow, who kissed Naruto on the cheek for once again saving her as Naruto lay back down on his bed. Naruto ran to Times Square, where he watched Cap save a youngster from Hyperion before entering his red chakra cloak and dash forward, smacking Hyperion in the jaw after claiming he displayed his world after they performed the same thing that the Avengers are now doing. Naruto dashed around, randomly striking Hyperion. Hyperion grabbed the ninja and hurled him across the city, only for Naruto to grasp a flagpole and flip around it many times before returning to kick Hyperion. Naruto was punched by Hyperion before he threw a car at Black Widow. She found herself at the same location as Naruto before flipping to land as the automobile crashed into a building. The following morning, Naruto awoke to find himself in the med bay, with Tony and Widow there. What happened? Tony revealed that they were able to catch Hyperion and discovered that when he tried to kill the criminals, they turned on him, and that the meteor shower was most likely from Hyperion's planet. Tony then left, followed by Widow, who kissed Naruto on the cheek for once again saving her as Naruto lay back down on his bed. Now, morning in New York City. The Avengers, excluding Widow, took off on the Quinn jet in pursuit of a gigantic reptilian creature rampaging through the streets. An enraged Hulk kicked the doors open, jumped on the beasts, and began punching it before realizing it was terrified. The jet crashed after Hulk jumped on it, causing it to smash into a skyscraper. "What's the big deal, Hulk? You think we're a fridge?" Hawkeye said as they exited the jet. "Monster." Scared, Hulk remarked as the team turned to face him. They heard flowing water before looking to the coast and seeing a tidal wave that dwarfed the towers on their way to the city. Iron Man and Thor, who were flying outside, soared up, and Iron Man examined the wave to see if there were any people in it. They're all males with blue or green skin, white eyes, and fish features, dressed in pule and green bodysuits and wielding spears and swords. Atlanteans. Check out this show for a better look at them. Naruto then encountered one wearing a helmet crown, gold armor, and a cape. "I'm guessing he's the leader," Naruto replied as he took out his binoculars and examined the assailants. The Atlanteans skated to the subway exits as water smashed through the streets. As Hawkeye, Cap, Falcon, and Naruto went under the subway to fetch the Atlanteans on hoverbikes or soared in Falcon's case, Iron Man engaged the leader who called himself Atuma. Atuma struck Iron Man with an electricity-sparking sword before fleeing in what Iron Man referred to as his yellow and slightly red underwater costume. Up ahead, Naruto, Cap, and Hawkeye came to a halt at another entry and noticed what appeared to be a big starfish on each support before scanning them and having Iron Man explain that there are hundreds of these beneath New York before they exited. Once the tunnels were inundated, the mechanisms opened and began sucking the pressure, causing fractures to appear on the walls. Before turning to face the others, Naruto cursed seeing water heading towards them. "Grab on, now." Naruto Hiroishin them out of the tunnels and onto the streets just as Manhattan began to sift into the water, grabbing either Naruto or the bike. Iron Man explained to the Avengers that Atuma separated the top layers of the bedrock before being surrounded by Atuma and his troops. Falcon, Iron Man, flew up and summoned Thor to assist with the tidal wave, which he was able to hold back, giving the two tech heroes time to create an energy shield with their blasters. The ground crew fought the Atlanteans and devised a strategy. Clap. As Thor came down and was punched by Atuma, Hulk clapped, propelling a big group towards the shield. Thor skids through the ocean after Mjolnir was knocked from his grasp, before flipping himself upright and staring at Atuma. "You have yet to taste Mjolnir," he threatened, reaching back and summoning his hammer. Only to be tackled back by several Atlanteans. Atuma smirked as he looked to his right and noticed Hulk. "You want me, brute? Here I am." Hulk ran forward and hit Atuma, only for the Atlantean to seize his fists and create a shockwave that cracked the windows of the buildings as well as the shield. The Hulk then brought his fists down in an axe attack, which Atuma blocked. "You disappoint me, Hulk. You are supposed to be the strongest Avenger." Hulk then slammed his fist down on Atuma's skull after Atuma punched him back a foot. They exchanged many blows before Atuma ran over Hulk and hit him in the street. As he stood up, Hulk punched him in the face, causing another shock wave. Thor flew over to assist, only to have Hulk backhand him away. Iron Man attempted to reach the Hulk and save the barrier, but the Hulk ignored him as Atuma punched him away and through the barrier. "Good. I was afraid of hurting him." Naruto wrapped his crimson chakra-covered arms around Atuma, who screamed as burns began to blanket him, before jumping high in the air and flipping to pile drive the Atlantean into the ground. As the water receded, the others fought the other Atlanteans before Naruto seized Atuma's leg and spun him around before throwing him into a building. He then appeared near the king and kicked him out before leaping into the air and diving down the side of a building, leaving a crater as Naruto landed on Atuma's back. Iron Man flew underneath to investigate what was causing the water to reverse and discovered the Hulk keeping the island afloat. Naruto was joined by the others as Cap threw his shield, Thor threw Mjolnir, Falcon shot his feathers, and Hawkeye shot his arrows. "Thor, Iron Man. Go see if Hulk could use some help or oxygen," Naruto cried before Atuma caught his breath and sprang into the air before crashing down. Naruto jumped up and tackled him to keep him from falling to the ground and fleeing. Naruto was then tackled by troops, and when he got them off, he noticed Atuma was gone before falling beside him, armor dented. The others immediately rushed up to him and leveled their weapons at him just as Hulk collapsed. Naruto noticed that he had grown more muscular, was glowing, and had red eyes with glowing yellow sclera. "Hulk, it's us," Naruto replied, gently approaching with his palm out in front. Hulk then cooled down and returned to normalcy, although with steam flowing off him. Later, Naruto returned to his house while Iron Man was repairing the island's bedrock. Latveria a few days afterwards. Crack. The Avengers flew the Quinn jet over the country to check on the Asgardian energy they've been receiving despite the fact that Dr. Doom hasn't been seen since he summoned the snake. As Widow struggled to keep them stable, they were abruptly hit. Hold on. Thor flew out to assist in keeping the jet aloft before being targeted by missiles fired by Hydra and a gang in yellow costumes. Hydra and AIM. After landing, they were shot at with a massive yellow beam as a black Asgardian armor coated in spikes wailed out of Doom's fortress, carrying the Norn stone in its breast. Thor screamed, recognizing the armor, Odin's beard, no. The destroyer. Before they saw Doom's mask on it, the armor smacked Hulk with a bean scream from its helmet, and Thor exclaimed that the destroyer is exceedingly hazardous. "You have trespassed on Latverian soil." "Seriously," said Naruto. "Do you have an Asgardian fetish or something?" he inquired as Doom's mask vanished in a flash of yellow light as the beam was directed at each group. Heimdall, open the Bifrost. Thor then vanished inside a pillar of light. Did our resident expert on Asgardians just up and leave? Hawkeye wondered as Doom disregarded them and pursued the villain gangs. He must have gone to get help, Cap exclaimed before turning to face the others. Before being chased inside, their strikes did nothing to the armor. Hulk drew the drawbridge up as soon as the others passed through it, before it trembled from Doom's strike. They then entered the armory, where Iron Man walked to a hollow map in the center. "What now? We're sitting ducks here," Naruto remarked as he heard the drawbridge slam. Before Thor appeared, Iron Man triggered every protection Doom had on his home and threw Naruto his Asgardian axe. "My friends, I'm sorry I vanished on you. After seeing the destroyer, I hastened to Asgard to bring back help." "Lady Sif? The Warriors 3? Iron Man inquired as he approached Thor, who stood to the side, displaying Loki. "I believe you all know my brother Loki? Greetings Avengers, good to see you again." "Oh, hell no," screamed Naruto, adjusting his axe on his back. "Loki is our only hope," Thor stated as Doom barged in and had Leviathan smack him across the face before being summoned back to Naruto. "Stay behind me," Loki said, clutching his staff as Doom fired at them. "All of you, burn." As the others gazed, Loki formed a shield around them. Loki then aimed the beam at the ceiling, causing a spiked pillar to crash on the armor. "I didn't see that coming," Iron Man stated as Loki peeked over his shoulder at them. "So, will you all be bowing to me now, or later? I'll also accept a simple thank you." Hulk attempted to assault Loki, only for him to vanish and Hulk to collide with a pillar. Loki then warned that if the way to get into the armor was lost before Doom figured it out, the entire 9 realms would be in peril. And Doom was only psychically bonded, and if the chamber shook, he would be lost to the armor. "Friends, this is my fault. If I had faced my fate with the serpent, Doom would not have gotten the armor," Thor stated, drawing their attention to himself. "I do not ask you to trust my brother, I only ask you to trust me." The pillar began to crumble, prompting Loki to draw a gold key from his staff and create a green doorway. "Okay, 2 teams. Thor, this is your party. Take Captain America, Falcon, and Shinobi. Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, we're defense. We'll hold off that Doomstroyer for as long as we can," Iron Man remarked as Thor and the others entered the vortex. Helheim. The others then entered a cave with lava running down the walls and on what appeared to be massive roots. "Helheim? Doom is here?" Thor inquired as he looked around. "So it would seem," Loki responded, looking around. "Thor, what's the matter?" Cap inquired as Thor simply gazed about. "We are deep below Asgard, the domain of the trolls. Tread carefully." "Odinson himself? Sound the alarm." Naruto drew Leviathan out and looked around to see trolls all dressed in armor and wielding swords. "Destroy them all." Looking around, each member noticed that the walkways in front of them were clogged with trolls running towards them. "Not as easy as you thought, huh, Loki?" Falcon inquired after Loki had vanished. "Sigh, damn," shouted Naruto before hurling his axe at the people in front of him. They all attacked as Naruto punched one of the trolls and axed for an axe before striking the troll on the chest. Naruto then strikes the ground with his axe, causing a huge wave and a small circle of ice to appear. "Any idea where Loki is?" "He went AWOL as soon as the hostiles were attacked," Cap exclaimed, smashing one of the trolls away. "Who needs him? We're Avengers," Falcon said as he shot his feathers. "It could be a tap. We could be nowhere near Loki." As Naruto knocked one troll off the root system, he was landed by his colleagues. "That would explain Loki's hasty retreat," Thor observed as he looked about. "Retreat?" Loki was standing on a downed troll near a door, his staff gleaming. "I'm hurt. Had I not gone after this troll messenger, we'd all be up to our necks in axes." Naruto then turned to go as the others followed, his axe back on his back. They broke through the door to find another room with Doom seated on a throne. "Victor Von Doom, cease your assault upon Earth, or face my wrath. Say the sons of Asgard." "He can't hear you," Loki remarked, pointing to Doom's purple crystal-like crown. "He sits on the armor's original power source." "And the crown?" Cap inquired as Loki approached him. "That I can't say. If we break Doom's connection to the throne," Thor inquired, his gaze fixed on Doom. "And the destroyer once again becomes a husk, and you return to another pathetic Earth's hero welcome," Loki answered to his brother. Falcon attempted to fly over, only to be forced back as the serpent that tried to eat Thor swam in the lava and wrapped around the throne. "Doom is being guarded by the Midgard serpent," Thor exclaimed in surprise. "Perhaps that's what the crown is for," Naruto speculated, pointing at the crown on Doom's head and noticing identical crystals on the serpent's throat. Thor swooped down on the serpent and collided with its tail. "No," Doom exclaimed, opening his eyes as Thor continued to battle the serpent. "Team Defense did their job, now it's our turn," Cap remarked as he turned to face Falcon. Falcon could use an airlift. Falcon snatched up the war hero and had Doom wave his hand, causing the serpent to attack them as Loki flew to their aid. Naruto aimed his axe towards the serpent's head before calling it back and repeating the operation. Naruto then witnessed Captain America throw Doom from the throne and knock the crown into the lava. No. Loki kidnapped Doom and opened another portal for them to enter as trolls rushed in, leaving Thor and himself behind. Earth. Doom walked back to his home, using his diplomatic immunity to avoid being taken while everything unfolded on his territory before a lesser destroyer began to power up. The Hulk then seized it and hurled it at the moon, while Iron Man utilized his uni-beam to ensure it got into space. "Hopefully, we won't have to deal with that thing again," Naruto remarked as he sat on a rock. Falcon snatched up the war hero and had Doom wave his hand, causing the serpent to attack them as Loki flew to their aid. Naruto aimed his axe towards the serpent's head before calling it back and repeating the operation. Naruto then witnessed Captain America throw Doom from the throne and knock the crown into the lava. No, no. Loki kidnapped Doom and opened another portal for them to enter as trolls rushed in, leaving Thor and himself behind. Earth. Doom walked back to his home, using his diplomatic immunity to avoid being taken while everything unfolded on his territory before a lesser destroyer began to power up. The Hulk then seized it and hurled it at the moon, while Iron Man utilized his uni-beam to ensure it got into space. Hopefully, we won't have to deal with that thing again, Naruto remarked as he sat on a rock. Now, morning in New York City. Shinobi and his gang, minus Spider-Man, were thrown in the streets by a pile of rubble before Power Man cleared the top portion of it, revealing Spider-Man beneath. He said that he had just fought the Goblin who had attacked him to keep him from interfering with family business. It's Goblin, he's insane. You can't believe anything he says, Nova told the arachnid-themed hero. Do you have a plan? Power Man said of their boss, before Spider-Man cut him off. I'm gonna wing it. Yeah, because that always works, Naruto sighed as Spider-Man insisted on going solo when it came to Harry, MJ or May. Kidding, I do have a plan. Shadow, Harry and me. You sure? Tiger asked Spider-Man while the others peered about. You and Harry haven't been on the best of terms lately. Not to mention he hates Spider-Man and Shinobi. You kidding, we're the bestest of pals. After following Harry's limo for a few hours, the squad saw the Goblin drop down on the roof and tear it open. Peter and Harry bolted as Goblin hopped into his glider and the squad descended.
Get away from that random kid we don't know, shouted Power Man, hurling a newspaper machine at them. Yeah, that random, defensive, wimpy kid, Nova exclaimed as he flew. Smooth, screamed Naruto as he rushed around the walls of the buildings, just as Goblin threw gadgets that imprisoned his crew in green electric bubbles. Damn.
They hurried down the alleyway after releasing his squad, only to find Harry. Harry's penthouse later on. The team, Shinobi, and Fury stood in Harry's living room, questioning him about why Goblin desired Peter. Don't worry, S.H.I.E.L.D. will handle everything, Fury remarked as Harry approached the window. What's that? What's up? Naruto said as he walked up to where someone was going to bust through the window. Holy shit, he cursed as the male figure flew through the air and landed on all fours, howling. It's a symbiote. The symbiote assumed the form of a man, with large white eyes and a long tongue. His body is predominantly crimson, with black lines running around it. Is it Venom? No, not unless it changed color. This one's red. Naruto cried as the symbiote struck while dust from fallen support beams clung to him.
That's a symbiote. Oh no, Pete, shouted Harry as Peter screeched. He had black tendrils attack them by throwing furniture before Naruto wrapped his arms around Pete's in a sleeper hold in his red chakra cloak. Ah! And screamed as spikes protruded from Peter's fight to escape the scorching chakra before Harry moved up and talked to the symbiote about how he was the better fit before it came off Peter and onto him, producing venom. Naruto's wounds began to heal as Venom jumped out the window and began to swing away. I've got a plan. Give me 5 minutes, Peter remarked before slipping into his suit and fleeing. After giving Peter some time, they meet up a few streets away, where Spider-Man reveals how he was able to convince Venom to assist him in capturing Goblin before traveling to the top of an abandoned building, where Spider-Man confronted Venom, who hurled him through the shattered circular window. After a few moments, the team ran in with Naruto dressed as Spider-Man using a henge transformation technique, while the actual Spider-Man removed his outfit to talk sense into Harry while Naruto battled Goblin. Before jumping and punching the Goblin, Naruto produced a clone for him, and Venom tackled and flung his father to the floor. Venom shrieked again as Harry squeezed it into a little blob on his hand. Harry stood up and placed Venom in a vial before turning to face the team. Naruto and his clone both punched Goblin into his equipment before he hurled numerous bombs, jumped over to Harry, and leapt up to the window. Your father would be proud of you, son, Goblin stated before handing Harry over to the others and chuckling. The team then trailed after Harry and Peter. Later, after losing Goblin, they returned just as Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. agents approached them for their report. Naruto left after seeing Peter and Harry get inside his limo. Missing Goblin crouched above a building, watching them all. Malibu a week later. 1. Really, Tony? Shinobi asks, removing his mask and inspecting the pretty spacious condo. Naruto moved away after considering Tony's inquiry concerning Red Skull's possible presence in the state. One of my smaller estates. You could house an army of those frost giants here. Naruto walked up to the door and entered the security code. Hydra sucks, real mature Tony. When I walked in, the lights turned on and I heard a male speaking. Whoa, Naruto Uzumaki, bro. Tony said you'd stop by. Naruto blinked at the relaxed surfer voice. JARVIS. Dude, no way. I'm West Coast, JARVIS, Tony's California-based butler system. Trust me, I'm way more on fleek than that uptight New York version. That dude knows like zero about a good time. Never use the word fleek again, Naruto said as he walked in to rest for the day. Later, Naruto, dressed in jeans and an open-button jean shirt, was on the second-floor veranda enjoying the sunset when he noticed a woman approaching. What do we have here? The woman is Caucasian with black hair that reaches her mid-back and is dressed in a green bodysuit with a brown belt, gloves, and dark green boots. As Naruto changed into his outfit, the woman followed him to the basement, where there was a massive vault, before dropping in front of her. Sorry, but this is so not happening for you. What? Shinobi? You have no idea why I'm here.
Well, giant vault behind me. I can take several guesses. And they'd be wrong. This is a document vault. My grandmother was an actress during Hollywood's golden age. And I need to know the truth about what happened to her. Nice lie. I'm supposed to believe sneaking into this usually empty place was easier than calling Tony Stark.
I've tried getting a hold of him for years, but got nothing, so I'm taking matters into my own hands. Sigh. Given my profession, I can't judge someone breaking into a house to seek proof of innocence. What do you think happened to your grandmother? Naruto asked the woman who had been staring at him. She was last seen with Stark. I suspect he murdered her. What? No way Tony would do that. No, not Tony Stark, I'm talking about his father. Howard Stark killed my grandmother. Tony in a suit arrived at the condo several hours later, while Naruto and the woman, Sheila, stood outside. Tony claimed his father was a killer, as Sheila said that when Howard created a movie company, he employed her grandmother, and the last thing she did before disappearing was phone Sheila's mother and tell she was in danger from one of the world's most powerful individuals. And the last person to see her alive witnessed her entering the studio with Howard before disappearing. She then began arguing with Tony until Naruto intervened. Okay, whether that happened or not, there's still a mysterious missing person at least. Any ideas on solving that? Start at the Dream Factory itself, Tony said as they arrived at the garage and piled into a scarlet convertible. They drove to the deserted movie studio before entering. They went upstairs to the office after going over the old sets, clothes, and cameras. What are dailies? Sheila inquired as she examined rolls of film. Why raw footage from a day of film production? Naruto said, peeking over his shoulder. Because I found dailies for something called The Robot Rises. That's a B-movie title if I ever heard one, Naruto remarked as he approached. And based on the date, this was when my grandmother was in the studio. Sheila found a projector, inserted the film, and began playing it, with a woman appearing on the screen. That's her. That's my grandmother, Helen. This proves she was here, Stark. Helen was shown talking to a man before bringing out an odd-looking rifle that sparked with electricity. What? Special effects on raw footage? That doesn't make sense, Tony replied before Sheila cast a glance behind her. We're not alone. Men in suits stormed in and began fighting the trio before a man in a silver armored suit entered.
Silvermane, what are you doing here on the West Coast? Is New York more your speed? Tony said of the man, who stared at him with red eyes and only his face visible, indicating he is Caucasian.
I was going to ask the same. Are you Stark? Fellows, get them. Tony's armor flew in and he began shooting men away before Silvermane stunned him with an EMP blast. As Silvermane and his soldiers fled, Naruto ran to him. What are they doing here? Naruto inquired as Iron Man turned to face Sheila.
We don't know your grandmother was murdered, but I'm hypothesizing that it isn't a coincidence that criminals break in just as we're investigating.
So, how do we deal with Silvermane and his gang? She questioned as Naruto turned to face her with a business card in his hand.
The old-fashioned way. I found this card that was dropped in the fight. A 40s themed nightclub. Later, Tony summoned the others to assist them in scouting the club, as Steve was dressed in a blue suit and Natasha was dressed in a black dress with slits on both sides. They flew to the club, where Silvermane was telling the guards to keep an eye out for them while standing near a man.
He's Caucasian, with a strong build, and he's wearing a blue mask with a skull on it, a blue vest with bones in a X pattern on it, and blue pants with grenade belts on them. Crossbone's real name is Brock Rumlow. He is a supervillain and an adversary of the Avengers, particularly Captain America. Tony examined the room before following two waiters to the back of the club as Steve and Natasha entered. They followed the men as they discussed Silvermane removing a device from the vault. Before approaching, the men turned and noticed them. "Excuse me, what are you two doing back here?" "We love the club. We just wanted to take a look around," Steve explained as one of the men opened a door and led them inside. "Come inside. We'd like to ask you a couple of questions." When they entered, they noticed it was a billiards room, so Steve went to the bar by the table and grabbed a plate. "It's not a shield." Natasha then turned to face the pool table. "Haven't played pool since Beijing." Natasha seized a pool stick and knocked out the other man as Steve turned and flung the plate at him. Steve then put his hand to his ear. Shinobi overheard Silvermane's in the back in the vault room. "Got it," Naruto said, crawling into a vent with his crossbow in hand. "See him now, stolen goods from the studio," Naruto stated as Silvermane drew out a staff topped with a green jewel. "The staff of the rising moon." "Oh, another staff. That can't be good," Naruto said as the staff began to glow with lightning, recalling Loki's invasion. "Tony, that hunch you had about that prop in the footage was right. That was no special effect. I think we're in trouble. He's putting it in his vault. Damn, they locked it before leaving." Naruto cloned himself and headed to the security room before loading his EMP rounds and shooting a camera. Naruto collapsed after recalling knocking out the guards in the security room and barricading the entrance before proceeding to the vault. "Damn, there's more stuff from the studio in here too. I took out security Hawkeye, just focus on the guards outside." Naruto then began breaking into the vault as he heard fighting on his earpiece and Tony entered to create a distraction by purchasing food and beverages. Naruto entered and stole the staff as well as a box of files before fleeing. "I got the staff and evidence." In another room, Silvermane tried to encourage Crossbones to strike, but Crossbones did nothing before removing his mask, revealing Thor, before robots surrounded Thor and Tony and a man wearing a cap and sunglasses morphed into the Hulk and Falcon flew in. Naruto smashes through the door, bringing Steve and Natasha together. As the last of the guests fled, they destroyed the robots before tying up Silvermane and calling the cops. As the Avengers boarded the Quinn jet and flew back to Tony's house, the cops captured Silvermane. "Sheila, we got the evidence on what happened to your grandmother," Naruto remarked as he dropped the box in front of her.
"Nothing happened to her. What? Why are knights in shining armor so easy to fool? When you caught me, I had to make up a cover story," Sheila stated, shocking the Avengers. "I was looking for this staff the entire time," she exclaimed, putting her palm to her ear. "Monica Rappaccini to AIM. Field Commander. I obtained the staff. The Avengers are down. Repeat. The Avengers are down."
The Avengers stood up as she revealed she was a commander in AIM and had planned this after discovering the staff had been used as a prop in a Howard Stark film. "My real name is Monica Rappaccini. We've always planned on getting rid of the Avengers. Guess I can move that date up." She then stunned them once more as a chopper flew down and dropped a rope ladder. "You are anachronisms. So-called heroes, who stand in the way of true progress. As AIM reshapes the global landscape into a new world order free of traditional power structures, your kind will only have a place in the history books. Goodbye forever," Monica said as she climbed the ladder and boarded the helicopter as it launched missiles at them. Then there's Los Angeles. As an earthquake shook the ground and buildings began to crumble, the Avengers ran or flew throughout the metropolis. Shinobi ran through the buildings when he noticed Monica and AIM agents on a roof with a massive device on it and the crew inside. "Monica, or whatever your name is, you have to stop this," Naruto cried, lowering himself. "Or what? You'll stop me? That's the plan," Naruto said as clones descended and restrained them before shutting off the machine and causing the earthquake to stop.
Malibu Beach came later. As Naruto was walking down the beach, he halted when he heard Natasha's voice.
"Could you put suntan lotion on my back?" He blinked and saw Natasha sitting on a towel in a black bikini with her hourglass emblem on the crotch in each breast before groaning and reaching for a bottle. "Sure." Naruto began applying the oil on her naked back as she turned and unfastened the knot on her top. "I think she does it on purpose," she says. "Monica, or whatever your name is, you have to stop this," Naruto cried as he knelt. "Or what? You'll stop me? That's the plan," Naruto said as clones descended and restrained them before turning off the machine and causing the earthquake to halt.
Malibu Beach came later. As Naruto was walking down the beach, he halted when he heard Natasha's voice. "Could you put suntan lotion on my back?" He blinked and saw Natasha sitting on a towel in a black bikini with her hourglass emblem on the crotch in each breast before groaning and reaching for a bottle. "Sure." As Naruto began rubbing the oil on her bare back, she turned, unfastened the knot on her top, and lay down.
I think she does it on purpose, she says. Now. Night in New York City. Shinobi dodged a swing from a man wearing an armored exoskeleton bearsuit before kicking him in the face. Okay Grizzly, where's that picnic basket? Hey. Naruto flipped over conceit before settling into a crouch. Need help? Looking back, he noticed his crew was missing Spider-Man, PFF'd. No, it's just Grizzly, Naruto exclaimed before Grizzly grabbed his leg and twirled him into a water tower. Dropping down, Naruto witnessed the others fight Grizzly before racing over, jumping at him, and punching him off the roof and into a garbage as the cops arrived. Okay, team, do you want to help? Naruto questioned as a chopper approached and hovered over them. Team. After receiving no response, the ninja returned to find his crew had vanished. Sigh, of course. Naruto's house, Queens. Shinobi removed his mask as he went in the door, closing the window curtains as he did so, and peered about. Thanks for your help, guys, he remarked as he walked to the door beside the stairway, which revealed White Tiger. You're back. Already? That was fast. Yeah, why? Naruto inquired, noting her stack of books. Here, put away your books, she replied, slipping them into Naruto's hands before lifting her mask and kissing him quickly before turning to leave. Smack. And barely jumped when Naruto whacked her in the ass. Oh, you're back. Naruto noticed Nova waking up on the second floor as he looked over his shoulder. Your rooms are a mess, go clean it up right away, Nova exclaimed as she pushed Naruto to the stairs. Since when the hell do you order me around? Naruto inquired as Nova entered the kitchen and turned to follow. Iron Fist also threw a trash bag at him. Iron Fist returned to the kitchen, saying, trash duty. Thank you, friend. I'm not on trash duty this week, screamed Naruto as Power Man barred his path into the kitchen. Seriously, what the hell is up with you guys? Nothing, I don't know what you're talking about. Sure, Naruto said before Nova answered his phone. Hey, MJ, no I can't talk right now because of that thing that we talked about. Before the doorbell rang, Naruto inquired, why is she calling you on a Friday night? Dropping the items in his hands, Naruto stepped over to the peephole and saw Flash and Mary Jane on his porch. Okay, what the hell is this? Power Man exclaimed, surprise, as Naruto pinched the bridge of his nose. Did you think this through? You're not even out of costume before the kids arrived. If I didn't set up for the blinds to close automatically near sundown, they could have seen you in costume. It's not that bad. Nova protested, his arms crossed. We could have said we were thinking of a costume party. And when they asked why you didn't tell them that, Naruto inquired, raising an eyebrow before hearing a tap on the door. Just a sec. We're still reorganizing. Naruto cried at the door before turning to face his team. Go change, I'll push the furniture back. We'll finish this later. Drop any of your costumes that'll fit in the laundry chute. Walking and flying upstairs, Naruto produced clones that pushed the furniture and tables back against the walls as he removed his shirt and proceeded to a washing chute beside the kitchen door and put it in before witnessing most of his team's costumes fall down the chute. Naruto unclipped his belt and removed his pouch, dagger, and crossbow before placing them in it. Naruto grabbed a black t-shirt as he walked past the stairs, putting it on before unlocking the door and letting the teens in. Okay, only 2 rules. Bedrooms and the basement laundry room are off limits. Second, no drinking or doing drugs. Naruto remarked as loud music began to blast from his surround sound speakers as he entered his kitchen with multiple grocery bags. What's that for? Food for the party. I got food, Naruto exclaimed as Mary Jane began chopping vegetables. Did you know about the party to get it ready? No, my roommates didn't tell me until you all knocked on the door, Naruto sighed before pulling out his phone. I'll get some pizza. While he was ordering pizza, his squad arrived in civilian attire before kissing Ava when she approached him. Ah, you two are so cute together, MJ said. Naruto hung up the phone and glanced at her. Don't get all girly on me now. I am a girl. Well yeah, but you and Ava aren't like most girls. Naruto, who was about to open his mouth, abruptly closed it when Sam spoke out. Wow, even I'm not so foolish, he thought as his girlfriend and Mary Jane turned on the cosmic hero. He then put his phone back in his pocket and took out his black wallet as he walked to the door and waited, staring at the dancing teenagers. Pizza's on the way while we also cook some stuff. After 15 minutes, Naruto paid for the 10 pizzas with numerous bottles of Coke before placing many boxes on the living room table and walking to the kitchen. As he walked back out, he noticed a flower vase ready to fall and dived to rescue it, causing water to spill over his shirt. As several girls swooned at seeing the shirt adhere to him, Naruto stood up and got the vase and placed it in the closet. And then a jealous smirk as Eva approached him for a quick kiss. After a few minutes, a slow song came on, and Naruto dragged Eva into a dance with him. "I didn't think you were a dancer," Eva remarked as they moved. "Could say the same for you, all I see you do is study," Naruto replied, speaking slowly, "and training." "I learned from an online video," she said as the music began to play. "If tomorrow does not arrive, will she realize how much I adored her? Did I make every effort? Should demonstrate to her on a daily basis? That she is my sole companion, mind if I cut in?" They noticed Mary Jane standing to the side before Eva took a step back. "Sure." Naruto raised an eyebrow before beginning to dance with MJ. "I'm surprised you can dance." "You usually miss the school dances," Mary Jane added, reminding Naruto that during most of the school's events, he was usually called for the Avengers or a villain attacked the city. As the song ended, Naruto thought, "Yeah, that always sucked." He then noticed other girls lining up to dance with him. "This is going to be a long night," he thought, happy that not many slow songs were playing because he didn't want to deal with a jealous Eva. Naruto spent several hours making sure the teens stayed in the living area, kitchen, and basement without going into the laundry room before each teen went for the night. Naruto and his team, roommates, were standing on the porch when a massive black van rolled up and the door opened, exposing Coulson. "Coulson?" Naruto inquired, looking around at the other SHIELD agents. "You guys ready to go?" Coulson inquired, raising an eyebrow at Naruto. "What's he talking about?" Coulson questioned the ninja. "Didn't they tell you?" "No, tell me what." "The heli-carrier's fully operational. Fury gave the order, your team's scheduled to move back to HQ today." "We were going to tell you," Danny explained as Naruto approached him. "The party was for you. You know, to say thanks," Luke added as Eva approached. "For taking us in," she said, handing him a team photo of them out of costume, as well as a photograph of May in a frame. "It's what I was working on in your office the past couple of days. And the cake was the reason we kept you out of the kitchen." Sigh. "Okay. How about one more night, just us?" Naruto proposed before the others returned to Naruto's residence for their final night. "No, tell me what." "The heli-carrier's fully operational. Fury gave the order, your team's scheduled to move back to HQ today. We were going to tell you," Danny explained as Naruto approached him. "The party was for you. You know, to say thanks," Luke added as Eva approached. "For taking us in," she said, handing him a team photo of them out of costume, as well as a photograph of May in a frame. "I was working on it in your office. And the cake was the reason we kept you out of the kitchen." Sigh. "Okay, how about one more night, just us?" Naruto proposed before the others returned to Naruto's residence for their final night. Now, Tri-Carrier of the Shield. Shinobi was going through the corridors of SHIELD's new base, the Tri-Carrier, which was made up of 3 different ships, the Astrocarrier, a spacecraft, the Aquacarrier, an underwater craft, and the Stratocarrier, which served as the primary hub for all 3 ships. Walking through a door, he observed his entire squad exercising with the LMDs, culminating in a surprise attack by a Fury LMD. "Really coming together, team," Naruto exclaimed as he walked in and was tackled by Nova. "I have this one. Nova, that's the real deal," Spider-Man stated, causing Nova to pause and gaze down at his leader, where he claimed to see a tick mark. "Get off my back. It's great to see SHIELD back in full force," exclaimed the young hero as he soared back to the others, chuckling sheepishly. Spider-Man said as they exited the hologram training chamber. "I won't miss sharing a restroom with a bunch of boys," Tiger exclaimed as she passed her bow. "Yeah. I'm waiting for the alarm to go off with how perfect things have been going," Spider-Man remarked before the alarm flashed red, drawing the attention of his friends. They immediately dashed to the main room, where they found Fury standing in front of a hologram Earth. Spider-Man inquired before Fury pressed a button that summoned the moon and the Earth. "The distress call. Are you serious? Are we really heading to the moon? When are we leaving?" Spider-Man exclaimed. "Fury?" "Right now." Fury pressed a handle forward, causing the Astrocarrier to separate from the other 2 carriers before shooting up into space. "Wow, the moon." Spider-Man trailed off before lifting his hands. "The moon." "That's right, so get the stars out of your ears," Fury remarked as he walked to a keyboard. "This mission carries a little gravity." With the press of a button, the hologram Earth vanished and was replaced by J. Jonah. "Ah!" Spider-Man screamed from shock before falling. "J. Jonah?
I appreciate your help during these difficult times. My kid, John Jameson, means the world to me, and I ask all capable agencies to leave aside terrestrial threats such as Spider-Man, and dispatch all resources to the moon to discover what happened to John. The team then followed Fury to the hangar, where he explained that John was supervising the installation of a Daily Bugle communication station on the moon's surface. However, when excavating an archaeological site, communications were cut off. So we're going to get the survivors out of there, Naruto continued, taking up a backpack and putting it on before a spacesuit resembling his outfit appeared. So suit up.
Fury opened lockers behind Naruto to show spacesuits that resembled the team's costumes, minus Nova, who can breathe in space using the energy from his helmet. They then boarded a smaller ship and took out for the moon. Guys, don't get too excited. However, we are on the moon, Power Man exclaimed, excitedly, while the team cheered. They docked near the DBC headquarters and stepped inside, where they saw Nova without his energy surrounding him. What took you? Before they walked in and noticed the artificial gravity was still on, their suits hit their chests and went back into their backpacks. In addition to oxygen, they then proceeded to walk the corridors, with Spider-Man crawling on the ceiling to create place for the others.
The artificial gravity's still active. Before Power Man looked to their left, White Tiger said.
Guys, look at this. When they turned around, they noticed claw scratches on the metal walls. Claw marks, Naruto muttered as he looked down.
They're all over. Turning to his right, Naruto noticed that the halls were marked, as was the elevator door at the end of the hall directly in front of them. I've got a bad feeling about this.
They took the elevator down for many minutes before arriving at a cave with claw marks on the pipes. I guess we'll have to split up. Tiger, you Power Man, and a clone will go down the left corridor to find any survivors and load them onto the spacecraft. Naruto gave the order as he made a clone that followed the 2-down-1 tunnel. Okay, we got the other same orders to get any survivors out.
Naruto completed before as a hand touched Spider-Man's shoulder, he shrieked. When they turned around, they noticed a Caucasian male with short blonde hair and blue eyes. John? Spider-Man, is that you, Shinobi? Yeah, what happened? As John wiped his chin, Naruto inquired. John explained that his team was worried about a werewolf before he was hit on the head, blacked out, and awoke to find everyone vanished and claw marks all over the place.
Naruto nodded before continuing. Okay, S.H.I.E.L.D. sent us to bring you back. John then snatched him. No, I gotta save them. We're not abandoning your crew. And, truly, why are so many people grabbing me today?
I trust you, Shinobi, John responded, letting go of the Avenger as Spider-Man gestured to him. You are not at all what I expected J. Jonah's son to be. My father and I, we don't have much in common. That's why I got a position 250,000 kilometers away from Earth.
Then Spider-Man pointed at the astronaut. To get some space between you two. John burst out laughing. That was pretty amusing. You're nothing like my father portrays you to be.
Naruto's face flushes. If he thinks Spider-Man is hilarious, he's been up here too long.
Preconceived notions often lead to unexpected realities. Iron Fist spoke up, perplexing everyone except Naruto.
I so did not get that, John said, and Nova agreed. He means that people aren't usually how you picture them in your head, Naruto explained as John led them down a tunnel.
He added that while digging and excavating, they came across crystals before reaching the end of the tunnel. They noticed several lights pointing to a wall of varied sized and colored crystal gems. As they approached the crystals and a golden broadsword with a gem in the handle, John clutched his head.
You're not afraid someone will take it? Nova inquired, as John groaned. Don't get a lot of crime up here on the moon, groan.
He shouted and shone purple before transforming into a white-furred werewolf with green armor, gold pauldrons and gauntlets, and a purple gem in his breast. He also wears a spiked strap across his shoulder, as well as a belt with pouches and a red belt buckle.
Howl. Oh, son of a bitch, before John attacked and snatched the blade after punching Nova into the tunnel wall, Naruto said. Naruto took out his energy knife and activated it, revealing that the blade was now orange rather than red. Ki. Iron Fist yelled as he punched John. Only for him to block the energy with his blade and absorb it. The sword, it's taken my chi energy. Before running through the tunnel, John knocked Iron Fist into the wall, causing boulders to fall on him. Naruto ran after John with Spider-Man as his clone assisted Iron Fist. The lights went out for a few moments before Naruto nodded his head, causing his night vision to activate before turning to witness John hit Spider-Man, his spider sense not working. John.
I know you're in there somewhere. Be the man you are, not the man-wolf that wants to take over," Spider-Man yelled, knowing that John was still in his mind and that his spider sense was not alerting him. The man-wolf roared and flung Spider-Man around like a rag doll before leaping at Naruto, who sprang aside before spinning kicked the werewolf, who shook his head and went down the tunnel. The heroes pursued, with Spider-Man using his inferred vision to track out a head source. As a brilliant light appeared down the tunnel, Naruto shut off his night vision. Spider-Man then collided with Iron Fist, whose fist was glowing. "Iron Fist? Spider, I lost you for a minute." "Me? Did you happen to see that man, wolf, come this way?" "No, but come see what Nova discovered. It's critical." Taking the three of them back to the crystals, Fist said. They noticed November staring at a large purple one before Spider-Man touched it, revealing a holographic image of an alien touching the crystal and transforming into the same werewolf. "I guess the crystals turned someone into that wolf to protect them." Naruto paused before White Tiger soared by, breaking the image. She was then pursued by Power Man, who crashed into the wall behind them. "Wolfman!" Tiger shouted as Naruto assisted her in getting up. "No, Man-Wolf." Man-Wolf jumped over to them just as Naruto grabbed his arms to hold him in place while the rest fled. "Get the ship ready," Naruto yelled before being headbutted by Man-Wolf. "Ah! What a B***tch, which I suppose is somewhat true for you right now." Naruto stated that he saw the others run out before being flung off. Naruto had to run out in the tunnel, vaulting and flipping over debris and rocks that had fallen as the base began to crumble. As they neared the finish, several rocks crumbled, leaving only a hole in the middle, through which Naruto dived and landed in a roll. As he stood up, Naruto's eyes widened as he watched the door leading outside crack open, sucking him to the exit. He then hit his chest while wearing a spacesuit with a helmet and bright visor. "Grunt!" Naruto grumbled as he approached the ladder and began ascending. He noticed the ship's thrusters, one of which was broken, heat up before arriving inside as Nova descended outside to assist. The spacecraft shook violently before Man-Wolf ripped a hole in the ceiling, causing them to fall on the moon. Naruto rose and turned to face his team. "Nova, Power Man, fix the thruster in the hole, we'll get John." The two nodded before jumping to the thruster and starting to adjust it as the others leapt to the werewolf, who was running as if the low gravity didn't affect him. "Iron Fist!" Naruto yelled as he cupped his palms. Iron Fist jumped on Naruto's palms before being thrown at the luminous Man-Wolf fist. Iron Fist strikes Man-Wolf, knocking him back several feet before being punched to the ground. White Tiger pursued but was struck by the sword's hilt, forcing Naruto to leap to catch her as Spider-Man searched his webs for ones that function in low gravity. Spider-Man fought Man-Wolf but was flung aside before attempting to communicate with John before being punched again. "Guys, wait. Believe me." As Man-Wolf grasped his head, Spider-Man said, "Help me, we shall. But first, hand over the sword." Spider-Man instructed Man-Wolf to do so, his diamond flashing brightly. Before he assaulted Spider-Man, his eyes followed. "Guys, attack the gem." Naruto nodded as Spider-Man spoke. "Leave that to me." Naruto dashed to Man-Wolf, creating a Rasengan, spiraling sphere. "Iron Fist, throw me." Naruto jumped into Iron Fist's clutches and was tossed at Man-Wolf, breaking the crystal gem on his breast. Rasengan, spiraling sphere. He then noticed John shifting before taking him and flashing within. Tricarrier. Shinobi discovered J. Jonah shouting about Spider-Man destroying his moon base while the medics examined John. A few days pass while the team listens to Spider-Man, who informs them that while testing his new spider tracers, he teams up with Iron Man to face Juggernaut. When his tracers failed, he headed to Stark Industries to see if Tony could assist him. However, it was discovered that the employees were being attacked by robotic arms and other robots. After rescuing them, Spider-Man revealed that the robots were being controlled by Michael Tan, a dissatisfied employee who was sacked after Tony refused his technopathic devices. Michael blames Spider-Man for his firing and vows to exact his revenge on Stark by igniting his latest innovation, which appears to vaporize him. However, when he repaired and reused his spider tracers, he discovered that Michael's molecules had been dispersed, and his awareness had found a new host in his spider tracers. Spider-Man went on to say that he and Tony worked together to beat Michael, who dubbed himself Swarm after he produced innumerable tracers to build a gigantic body, by neutralizing the tracers. And Spider-Man concluded the story by saying that Tony maintained his tracers not just to restrain Michael but also to try to save him. To be continued.
That's it for this part, guys. Thanks for listening to this video. I hope you did enjoy the story, and if you did, Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you all for support and have a great day.